The Viltrumites ruled over a mighty empire in Invincible, but as the series wore on, they revealed several weaknesses crucial to their defeat. Throughout Robert Kirkman, Cory Walker and Ryan Ottley's Invincible, the Viltrumites were a dominant force in the cosmos against all other species. The alien race established an empire that spanned the galaxy through their sheer brutality and force of strength. Their strongest warriors could topple buildings, fly at hypersonic speeds, and prove to be completely physically invulnerable even to nuclear weapons. However, that does not mean that Invincible, Omni-Man, or the other Viltrumites were without their weaknesses. By the end of the long-running Invincible comic book series, there were several Viltrumite weaknesses that the characters learned to exploit. As the bodies piled up one after another, Viltrumites went from being unbeatable juggernauts to a manageable threat that anyone with enough intellect and proper preparation could handle. First, Viltrumite's inner ear weakness. One of the major Viltrumite weaknesses concerns their inner ear, which is delicately balanced in order to accommodate for their flight. Thousands of years of evolution and getting used to moving through a full 360 degrees of motion in air has its drawbacks. As Invincible himself found out, the earpiece the Global Defense Agency had him wear could be weaponized to throw off his balance, severely wounding the hero. Robot later discovered that this could be exploited even further. The genius leader of the Guardians of the Globe created an army of robot drones, each constructed in such a way that they would produce a specific harmonic frequency when struck. This design turned the Viltrumites' strength against them. The harder they were struck, the more powerful the painful resonance created by the armor. When Invincible himself had to contend against one of these armors, he had to find a way to fight without striking his foe at all. Second, the Rognarr aliens can kill Viltrumites along his journeys through space, and while he still held loyalties toward the Viltrumite Empire, Omni-Man kept meticulous notes about anything he came across strong enough to defeat a Viltrumite. He coded all the discoveries he made into science fiction novels he published on Earth, and one of the most daring tales he transcribed was his run-in with the Rognarrs that proved powerful enough to maul a Viltrumite to death. With unique claws and fangs that allowed the creatures to pierce even a Viltrumite's skin, Rognarrs could damage even the strongest among the Viltrumite race. Their strength and durability itself may not have been on par with the Viltrumites, and they could more easily be killed. Still, with powerful leg muscles that allowed them to suddenly leap at a foe, the Rognarrs could put their uniquely razor-sharp appendages to work. One even managed to cut open Thrag's belly before his duel with Battlebeast, and the villain found great use of two Rognarrs on a leash he wielded like flails in the final battle of the series. Third, Space Racer's Invincible Gun. Space Racer himself was an alien who rode a cosmic motorcycle across the spaceways, armed with a pistol with a beam that could pierce through anything. The black beam of energy would fire off and just keep going, and that meant that it could even cut straight through Viltrumites. Space Racer proved to be a valuable resource throughout the Viltrumite War, since the beam of his gun cut through the superhumans just as well as anything else. It was even powerful enough to destabilize the core of the planet Viltrum so that Invincible and his allies could destroy the planet. Best of all, the gun's technology made it so no other person could wield it. Any attempts to do so springs the gun back into Space Racer's hands, so the weapon could only ever be used by Space Racer himself. What is Omni-Man's greatest weakness? In the end, the Viltrumites were susceptible to some very human emotions, which was perhaps the greatest of Omni-Man's weaknesses. Early in the series, it became clear Viltrumites were not dispassionate logicians. In fact, their anger easily boiled over into enraged fits that occasionally made them act sloppily or miscalculate their maneuvers. More importantly, the Viltrumites' emotions proved to be the key to turning their entire empire to the side of the angels. While their culture seemed brutal and favored the dominance of the strong over the weak, a little bit of Earth's humanity went a long way.